Envelope budgeting, why cash in envelopes beats your 12-month app. The problem with your budget app, people who use cash spend 12 to 18% less than people who pay with cards. That's not some grandma wisdom, and that's from an MIT and Carnegie Mellon study. The credit card industry knows this. The budgeting app industry knows this, and neither one of them wants you to think too hard about it. Here's the deal. There are more budgeting apps available right now than at any point in history. Some are free. Some cost you $8, $12, even $15 a month. They've got color-coded pie charts. They send you little push notifications. They sync with your bank and categorize your spending automatically. And yet, more than 60% of Americans are still living paycheck to paycheck. Something is clearly not working. I'm not here to trash every budgeting app. Some of them are fine tools, but there's a method that's been around for over 100 years, costs literally nothing, and forces your brain to actually feel your money leaving. It's the envelope method. It's old. It's analog. It's kind of annoying. And for a lot of people, especially people starting from zero, it works better than anything on your phone. Let me show you exactly how it works, why it works, and how to set it up this week with whatever amount of money you actually have, what the envelope method actually is. Let's strip this down to the basics because it's almost stupidly simple. You get paid. You cash out the portion of your paycheck that covers your variable spending, groceries, gas, eating out, entertainment, personal stuff. You divide that cash into envelopes. Each envelope is labeled with a category and an amount. When the cash in an envelope is gone, you're done spending in that category until the next pay period. That's it. That's the whole system. When there's no algorithm, there's no premium tier. You don't need to connect your bank account to a server in San Francisco. You need envelopes and cash. You could use Ziploc bags if you wanted. Nobody's judging. Here's a real example. Say you bring home $2,400 a month. Your fixed bills, rent, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments eat up $1,600 of that. You've got $800 left. That $800 is what goes into envelopes. Maybe it looks like this. Groceries, $300. Gas, $120. Eating out, $80 household stuff, $60 fund money, $40 miscellaneous, $50 emergency buffer, $150. That's $800 across 7 envelopes. You pull the cash, you split it up, and you operate from those envelopes for the entire month. When the grocery envelope is empty on the 22nd, you're eating what's in the pantry. When the fun money runs out, Netflix and your couch become your best friends. The numbers don't have to be perfect the first month. They won't be. You'll probably underfund groceries and overfund something else. That's fine. You adjust next month. Why cash hurts more than a tap. This is the part the apps can't replicate, and it matters more than any feature they'll ever build. When you hand someone a $20 bill and watch it leave your hand, your brain registers that as a loss. Researchers call it the pain of paying. It's a real neurological response. Your brain literally processes spending cash the same way it processes mild physical discomfort, not agony, just enough friction to make you pause and think, do I actually need this? When you tap a card or click buy now, that friction disappears almost entirely. The money is abstract. It's numbers on a screen, changing from one number to a slightly smaller number. Your brain barely flinches. That's by design. Every payment company on earth is trying to make spending feel like nothing. Because when spending feels like nothing, people spend more and someone profits from that. I watched a friend of mine go from blowing through $600 a month on random Amazon orders and DoorDash to cutting that number almost in half, not by having more willpower, not by reading a book about discipline, but by switching to cash for her discretionary spending. She said the weirdest part was standing in Target holding a candle and a throw pillow, looking at the $34 left in her household envelope and putting the pillow back. She told me she'd never once done that with a debit card, not once in years. That's not a willpower story. That's a system design story. The envelope method builds a wall between you and mindless spending, and the wall is made of the most low-tech material possible. Physical money you can see getting thinner. The real reasons people quit and how to not be one of them. Let's be honest, the envelope method has a dropout problem. People start it, love it for 2 weeks, and then quit. I've seen this happen dozens of times. Here's why, and here's what to do about it. Reason one, they try to envelope everything. Don't do this. Your rent, your car payment, your electric bill, those stay as automatic payments or checks. You don't need an envelope for your $100 rent. You need envelopes for the spending categories where you actually lose control. For most people, that's 5 to 8 categories tops. Reason two, they set the amounts too tight on month one and feel like they're being punished. Look, if you've been spending $400 a month on food and you put $200 in the grocery envelope, you're going to have a miserable 2 weeks and then quit. Start with amounts close to what you're actually spending. Now for nows, the awareness alone will start changing your behavior. You can tighten the numbers in month 2 or 3. Reason three, they don't have a miscellaneous envelope. Life is messy. Your kid needs poster board for a school project. Your coworker is collecting $10 for a birthday gift. The dog needs a nail trim. If every unexpected $15 expense forces you to raid another envelope, the whole system feels broken. Keep a miscellaneous envelope with $40 to $75 in it. Think of it as the duct tape of your budget. Reason four, and this is the big one, they feel embarrassed paying with cash. I get it. We live in a world where tapping your phone to pay for coffee is considered normal, and counting out bills feels like you're from 1997. Here's my response to that. The financial system has spent billions of dollars making you comfortable with invisible spending. Feeling slightly awkward at a checkout counter is a small price for actually knowing where your money goes. How to set this up in one evening. You can get this running tonight, not next Monday, not when things settle down. Tonight. Step one, look at your last 2 months of bank statements. Add up what you spent in each variable category. Be honest. If you spent $220 on eating out, write down $220. Don't write down what you wish you'd spent. Step two, figure out your actual take-home pay per month, not your salary, the number that hits your bank account after taxes and deductions. Step three, subtract your fixed bills from your take-home pay. What's left is your envelope money. Step four, divide that remaining amount into categories. Write the category name and the dollar amount on each envelope. If you get paid every 2 weeks, split the monthly amounts in half and refill your envelopes twice a month. Step five, go to the bank or ATM and pull the cash. Yes, actual cash. If your bank charges ATM fees, go inside the branch. They'll give you cash for free. That's literally what banks are for. Step six, put the money in the envelopes and start spending from them immediately. The whole setup takes about 45 minutes. You need a pen, some envelopes, and your bank statements. Total cost, $0. Compare that to $99 a year for some app that still can't stop you from ordering Uber Eats at midnight. The hybrid approach for people who aren't going full Amish. I know some of you are already thinking, I can't pay for everything in cash. My gas station is pay at the pump only. I buy groceries online. I have subscriptions. Fair. Here's the workaround that keeps the core benefit of the system intact. Use envelopes for the 3 or 4 categories where you overspend the most. For most people, that's groceries, eating out, entertainment, and personal spending. Those are the categories where the pain of paying effect makes the biggest difference. For everything else, gas, subscriptions, online purchases. Use a debit card, but track those purchases manually. I mean, write them down on paper in a $1 notebook. Every time you tap that card, you open the notebook and subtract the amount from that category's running total. It's slower than an app. That's the point. The friction is the feature. Some people use a notes app on their phone instead of a notebook. That's fine too. The key is that you are doing the tracking yourself with your own hands and your own brain instead of outsourcing it to software that lets you ignore it. This hybrid approach gets you about 80% of the benefit of full cash envelopes. It's not perfect, but it's real, and it's something you can maintain for months without burning out. What happens after 90 days? Here's what I want you to actually do. Not think about, not pin on a vision board, not add to a list of things to try someday. Run the envelope method for 90 days, 3 months. Track what you spend in each category every month at the end of 90 days. Compare your total discretionary spending to the 3 months before you started. I've talked to enough people who've done this to tell you what you'll probably see. Somewhere between a 10 and 20% reduction in spending without feeling like you're living on rice and tap water. That's $80 to $160 a month for someone working with that $800 in variable spending we talked about earlier. Over a year, that's $960 to $119 to $120 back in your pocket. Not from a raise, not from a side hustle, just from making your money physically real. So here's your move before you close this video. Open your bank app and look at last month's spending. Pick the 3 categories where you spent more than you expected. Write those on 3 envelopes. Go get the cash tomorrow. Start there. You don't have to overhaul your entire financial life in one night. You just have to make 3 envelopes and fill them. That's the whole assignment.